Hey, ladies and gents, I'm super excited to start Pirkei Avot today. So we're going to jump right in with the introduction to the first Mishnah. The first Mishnah comes to teach us three things that the Anshe Knesset Gdola said for a tikkun and a chizuk of the three most basic and important things, yisodos, for the Jewish nation, and they are: number one, mishpat, justice; number two is chinuch, education; and number three is Torah, being mekayim the mitzvos. So the Mishnah starts off with the Toldot HaMasoret, the origins of the Masoret and its chain from Moshe Rabbeinu to the Anshe Knesset Gdola. That the Anshe Knesset Gdola, the first ones of the Anshe Knesset Gdola, were the last of the Nevi'im, Chaggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, and the last of the Anshe Knesset Gdola were the first Chachamim of the Talmud, the Tanaim. And the point of this is to teach us that everything brought in this Masechet, like all of Torah Shebaal Peh, are words that are Devarim Mevurarim, are clear words, Mekubal Ish Mipi Ish, they're received one from another, one person from the next, from the mouths of the Nevi'im, all the way back to Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the father of all prophets, who learned the entire Torah, all the halachos, the details, all the explanations, straight from Hashem himself. Okay, so who is the Anshe Knesset Gdola? This was a council of Nevi'im and Chachamim, which was founded by Ezra HaSofer at a great gathering that he gathered in Yerushalayim when he came back from Bavel. And you can see this in the Sefer Nehemiah, chapters 8 to 10. And this council made great takanos, very important takanos to be mechazik Torah and Emunah, Torah and faith. Among the first of the Anshe Knesset Gdola were Chaggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, as we said before, as well as Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, Nehemiah, the son of Chachliah, Mordechai, Zerubbabel ben Shaltiel, who was from Yizera David HaMelech, and many other Chachamim. In the Gemara Yoma, Daf Samach Tes Amud Beis, it says, why were they called Anshe Knesset Gdola, the great gathering? And it says, Shechziru es ha'atar le'yoshna, they returned the crown to its former glory. Moshe came along and said, he called Hashem Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanora, the great, the powerful, and the awesome king. This is in Devarim, chapter 10, pasuk 17. Yirmiyah came along and said, foreigners are croaking in the Heichal, Mekarkarim Heichalai, Aye Norotav, where's God's awesomeness? So he didn't say Hanora, he just said Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibor. It's in Jeremiah, chapter 32, pasuk 18. Daniel came along and said, these foreigners are subjugating his children. Where's God's gevuras? Where's God's power? So he didn't say Hagibor, he just called him Hagadol V'hanora. We see in Daniel chapter 9, verse 4. Anshe Knesset Gdola came along and said, no, this is God's greatness and this is God's awesomeness. Because the very fact that the Jewish people are surviving and stay one nation and do not assimilate, this is part of God's awesomeness and Gevurah. And they returned the crown to its former glory, and they said, Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanora. We see this in Nehemiah, chapter 9, pasuk 32. The Anshe Knesset Gdola was comprised of 120 people, according to the Megillah Bavli, and according to the Yerushalmi Megillah, there were 85. And their time period lasted about 200 years, from the beginning of the second Beis Hamikdash until the time of Shimon HaTzadik, who was the last of the Anshe Knesset Gdola, as we'll see in the next Mishnah, Mishnah Beis. Now we're ready to start the Mishnah. Moshe Kibel Torah. Moshe received the Torah, the entire Torah, Torah Shebeksav and Torah Shebaal Peh, Sinai, from Hashem, who appeared at Har Sinai. We find the pasuk in Vayikra, Chavav Memvav, chapter 26, pasuk Memvav 46. It says, Ila hachukim v'hamishpatim v'hatayros asher nasan Hashem beino ubein b'nei Yisrael b'Har Sinai b'yad Moshe. So hachukim is the Medrash Halacha, Mishpatim are the laws, Tayros, that refers to the two Torahs that were given, one Bechsav and one Baal Peh, one written and one oral. B'Har Sinai b'yad Moshe, this teaches us that the entire Torah, the halachos, the details, all the explanations were given to Moshe at Sinai. This is in Taras Kahan and Mechukaisai. So Moshe Kibel Torah Sinai U'Mesar Yeshua, gave it over to Yeshua. Yeshua, it says in the pasuk in Shemos chapter 33, pasuk 11, U'masharso Yehoshua ben Nun Na'ar, Moshe's servant Yehoshua ben Nun, who was a Na'ar, a youth, lo yamish mitoch ol, he wouldn't move from Moshe's tent. And therefore he was zocha to the Yerusha, to inherit the Torah, to become the next leader. As it says in Bamidbar chapter 27, verses 18 to 20, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hashem says to Moshe, Kach lechas Yehoshua ben Nun, Ish asher ruach bo, take Yehoshua ben Nun as a man who has a spirit in him, v'samach tes yadcha alav, place your hands upon him, v'nasata me'hoicha alav, and give some of your hod, your splendor to him, Laman yishmu kol hadas b'nei Yisrael, in order that all the congregation of Israel should listen to Yeshua. And it says in Devarim chapter 34, pasuk 9, Yehoshua ben Nun mali ruach chachma, he was filled with the spirit of wisdom, ki samach Moshe es yadav alav, because Moshe had laid his hands upon him, vayishmu elav b'nei Yisrael, and all b'nei Yisrael listened to him. So we see that Yeshua received it directly from Moshe. Yeshua the Zakanim, Yeshua gave over the Kabbalah to the Zakanim. The Zakanim who lasted many years afterwards, like it says in Yeshua chapter 24, verse 31, Vayavod Yisrael es Hashem kol yimei Yeshua, that Klal Yisrael served God all the days that Yeshua was alive. B'chol yimei Zakanim asher herichu yamim acharei Yeshua, also all the days of Zakanim that lived a long time after Yeshua. Who were these Zakanim? Otniel ben Kenaz was the first of the Zakanim, and Eli HaKohen was the last of this Zakanim period. So all the Shoftim were also called Zakanim, the Meiri says. Now the Zakanim, to continue the Mishnah, Zakanim l'Neviim, the Zakanim gave it to the Neviim. Their time period lasted from Shmuel Hanavi, he was a student of Eli HaKohen, was the last of what we call the Zakanim, that lasted until the days of Chagei, Zechariah, and Malachi, the last of the Neviim at the beginning of the second Beis HaMikdash, like we mentioned in the introduction. When Neviim Yisarul Anshei Knesset Hagdolah, the Neviim gave over the Mesorah to the Anshei Knesset Hagdolah at the beginning of Bayit Sheni, again like we mentioned in the introduction. Heim Amru Shlosha Dvarim. The Anshei Knesset Hagdolah said three things to as an instruction to judges and Chachamim. Number one, Havu Metunim Badin. Do not quickly judge a case and paskin the halacha. Metunim, be patient. You should be patient and look into it carefully, with yishuv hadas, with calmness of thought, and look at the details, and investigate all the causes and all the inyanim that have to do with the din, in order that you judge din emes lamito, a truly true din. David Melech said a similar thing in Tehillim 75, pasuk 3. He said, Ki ekach moed, when I take my time, I take the time to look into it clearly with shikul hadas, ani misharim eshbot, then I judge misharim, yosher, straight. So this prat is from the Medrash Shmuel. So that was number one, metunim badin. It can apply to us as well. Every time we see a situation in life, we're constantly judging what's going on around us. But we need to be patient and not jump to conclusions. It's very, very important, especially in relationships with others. We see people doing something, and we right away think, oh, they're doing X, Y, and Z, this is against me. No, have a metunim badin. Be patient and see what's going on before you make a quick judgment. Second thing, the Anshei Knesset Hagdolah said, V'ha'amidu talmidim harbe. You should make lots of students, not like Rabbi Gamliel who said, Kol talmid she'en talchu kavaro al yiknes beit midrash. In the Gemara Brachos 28a, Rabbi Gamliel said, any student whose inside is not the same as his outside, he can't come to my Beit Medrash. He says, no, so over here the Anshei Knesset Hagdolah said, bring in many students. Not like Beis Shammai who said, a person should only teach someone who's a chacham and an anav and a ben avot from a good family. But rather, you should be like Beis Hillel. They said, teach every person, because there were many, many sinners in Klal Yisrael, but then they started learning Torah, and many of them became tzaddikim, chasidim, and kasherim. And this we find in Avos de Rabbi Nassan. Also, the Medrash in Koheles Rabbah says, B'noheg sheba olam, it's common in the world, and if you have 1,000 people that come into yeshiva to learn Chumash, 100 will come out successful. 1,000 come in to learn Mishnah, 10 will come out successful. 1,000 come in to learn Talmud, 1 will come out successful. The point is, have many, many students, because you don't know which one is going to be successful. It increases the odds. The third thing the Anshei Knesset Hagdolah said, Va'asu siyag l'Torah. Make a geder, make a fence, make a harchaka, a distance that we shouldn't come to Chas v'Shalom be over on Isurei Torah. So we want to distance ourselves from coming close to something of Isur. Like it says in Vayikra, chapter 18, Pasuk 30, Lamed, Ushemartem es mishmarti, you should guard my guarding. Chazal Darshan, Asu mishmeret mishmarti. The Pasuk is coming to teach a Bezdin to make takanos and gezeros and fences that a person shouldn't end up getting close to being over on Divrei Torah. In Avos Rabbi Nassan explains, it says over there, Asay siyag lidvarecha, make a fence for your words, kederech she'asa HaKadosh Baruch Hu siyag lidvarav. Like God made a fence for His words. So the Meiri explains this. He says, it appears to me, to explain these words, that he's warning each person to guard pischei piv, guard the opening of his mouth. Bal yachbid hashomim bahem. Do not overly burden those who are listening to you. Certainly, a person who's speaking Divrei Torah, he should say them bizman haroi in the proper time, b'shiur haroi in the proper amount, b'makom haroi in the proper place, dvarim haroim in the proper words, whether words that are proper for the speaker or words that are proper for the listeners. And he brings a mashal, an Arabian mashal, Mishlei Arav. He said there was a wise man who spoke way too long. And they asked him, why do you speak so long? And he said, I want even the fools to understand. So they responded to him, by the time the fools understand, the wise men are going to be disgusted already. They can't handle listening so long. So the point being that we'll try to wrap up this Mishnah because it's getting long already. What does it mean? Understand that a person should make a guard for his words and only speak them in the proper place and not just overly talk too much. So what does it mean God made a siyag for His words? Just like Hashem gave the Torah, mitzvahs, chukim, according to what humans can handle, according to each person's nature. And we're not supposed to add anything to the Torah or diminish anything from the Torah. So Hashem gave exactly the right amount of Torah and mitzvahs to us. So to a person, all of our words should be b'midah, b'mishkal, b'msurah, measured, weighed carefully. Certainly, all the more so in Divrei Torah. So that's the end of this Mishnah. And again, I'd like to encourage anyone who has any pshat, any thought on the Mishnah, or you see anything interesting, please feel free to share it. And it would be awesome if we could have good conversations. But even just listening is also good. Whatever, this is just an open group for people to. It's an invitation to share. Maximum invitation, minimum obligation, obviously.